Hey everyone, welcome back. The Mercedes-Benz Concept CLA class. This is by far one of the most extremely luxurious cars I've seen from Mercedes in quite some time. It's still a concept car for now, but this has taken things to the extreme from Mercedes. And Mercedes do like to do this from time to time. They do like to release a concept car that is wildly different from anything that we have today, but very much a Mercedes. In all aspects, you can say this car is a Mercedes. And we're going to get into the few areas that is extraordinarily cool. So this will be a short video, just talking a little bit about this car, this concept, and what it could bring to the reality of electric cars in the near future for the brand Mercedes. And it presents it in the same size as the current CLA sedan. It utilizes a rear mount motor, 2-speed transmission, and 800-volt architecture to make it more efficient than existing EVs, granting approximately 400 miles of range. Additionally, this electric model features some components from the Vision EQXX concept, such as the MBUX super screen stretching across the cabin. That has become a staple for a Mercedes vehicle's interior. In fact, personally, I've never really been a fan of that type of design. I've always liked something a bit more arcade-like, something a bit more simplistic, I would say. But recently in Munich, Mercedes-Benz unveiled a concept CLA class electric vehicle. Although the current nomenclature and the remarks pointing to its near production status suggest certain elements will appear in the upcoming redesign of the CLA, production of the updated luxury car is not likely to commence until late 2024. It is expected that this model will be released as the 2025 Mercedes CLA on the US market, with 3 other spin-offs following. 1 wagon variant and 2 potential replacement for the CLA and GLB SUVs. So if you take a closer look at this car, the front of this car, obviously it's an electric car. For one, the lights, the headlights, they're in the Mercedes iconic logo, which I think is really amazing. They've also got the circle as well. That just add to an awesome element of touch for Mercedes overall. Not to mention the Mercedes diamond. Not to mention the Mercedes logo below on the grille. There isn't a grille, but where there used to be a grille is now the Mercedes diamond logo. And that's really a nice touch. They've been adding that recently to quite a few of their EVs, quite a few of their cars. Here's another close-up look of the lighting that Mercedes wants to add to this car. I didn't notice, but now I do. Closer look, there's also a light bar at the front of this vehicle. That adds an element of touch I didn't notice before, and it looks like this follows it towards the rear of the vehicle. There's also a light bar on the rear with the same or similar type of Mercedes design logo lights on each side for brake lights and as such. This is quite remarkable. If something like this does become a reality in the future, I think would make this particular Mercedes quite a bit outrageously extremely valuable and rare at the same time. You know, there are some electric Mercedes cars that are extremely rare right now, and so they're being overpriced, especially in the US. Looking at this car from the side profile, it is very much a Mercedes, but with a fresh view, honestly, and it's nice to see. Now, this electric first concept was created using Mercedes module architecture, that's the MMA architecture. And it looks much like you'd expect from the next generation CLA. Its length clocked around 185 inches, which is roughly similar to the current CLA, 184.6 inches. Eye-catching design features included a bold shark nose with an undercut and smooth side, reminiscent of a Coke bottle shape. It also has a 21-inch 6-spokes wheel and a tire measuring of 255/35R front and 285/30R rear. And lastly, you can anticipate seeing an ICE engine available for this model due to its extended hood. So while this vehicle was designed to be an electrical vehicle, at the same time, it looks like they also designed it with the idea that there could be an engine. So this concept is not just something that they'll use for electric vehicles, but others as well. Now here's where it really gets crazy. The interior of this vehicle. Absolutely wild and extremely luxurious. Honestly, I've always said Mercedes are luxurious, BMWs are sporty, And all these are elegant. Seriously. That's how I interpret, that's how I understand the differences between these gigantic German brand of automobiles. Mercedes will always be the winner of luxury when it comes to automobile. They just do it better than everyone else. If you're looking for elegance, honestly, it's Audi. And if you're looking for a more sporty but premium EV or premium car, it's BMW. That just honestly makes sense. But I do like the concept. The concept CLA class is a single parent magnet synchronous motor that produces over 235 horsepower utilizing the MB.EDU Mercedes electric drive unit. That's the technology inspired by Vision EQXX concept that requires minimal rare earth materials. That's fascinating. I never thought I'd hear that. Here's another perspective look at this Mercedes cars from another perspective. Again, luxury is just way out there. But the one thing I always don't like with these cars is the dashboard, the displays. Now, I like displays, but with these displays, the bezels are just too thick. Look at the bezel on this Mercedes. Just look at the bezel. It's really thick. I just don't think that's very future thinking. It's not very future proofing. Other vehicles are coming out with displays that are ultra thin. They're trying to be as thin as possible. And here's Mercedes creating bezels that are just thick as possible. It's like they're taking a really old car from the 30s or 40s or 50s or 60s and they said upgrade them to look like a Mercedes, but still keep that old-fashioned kind of look. That's what I get from this car. Extremely futuristic, but at the same time, it's taken a lot of ideas from the past and putting it back into reality. Honestly, this looks like a car from the past that was reimagined to be a car from the future. It looks like a car that was created. It looks like a car that was created like 60, 70, maybe 80 or 90 years ago, but it was created as a concept for the vision of cars. That's what it looks like. But overall, the interior is beautiful and the exterior is absolutely beautiful. The rear is really stunning. Look at that all glass all the way around. That's remarkable. Now, when it comes to aero efficiency, I believe Mercedes is putting an even bigger emphasis on aero efficiency. I think they want and understand now that their cars have always been quite aero efficient, but they want it to be even more aero efficient. And that was a big deal with that concept car. I believe that was the EQXX concept car. And I think the prototype of that car could do like 800 or 900 miles on a single range or something like that. I don't know. It did something crazy. But we might have to look into that for another video. Like I said, the only thing I don't really like about that car is the display. You know, I just think the bezels, not just this Mercedes, but quite a few other Mercedes, the bezels are just too thick. Look at this Lotus car, the new Lotus car. Look at the bezel on this display. It's way more thin. And I like that. I like that. It's not extremely thin, but it's far more thin than a Mercedes. And I'm absolutely in love with this Lotus interior design. This is the design of the interior in the new Lotus Emeya Hyper GT car. But it's also the same design interior-wise or a similar design that they've used in the other SUV for Lotus. I believe that Lotus is the Electra. The Electra EV, the interior looks almost virtually the same. That's it for today's video. Thank you for watching and I'll see you in the next one.